unfortunately, in the States, it's a shitty situation right now. We've definitely like backslid, 200 years at this point.
It's good that you think that too, because pretty much the rest of the world, I think, is looking and going, "What the fuck is going on in that country? What are we doing?"
Yeah, I know. Now, like if I were to travel outside of the States and somebody asked me where I was from, I'd be like, Canada, eh?
It's like South Canada.
Meanwhile, we're the upstairs neighbors kind of banging on the floor going, "Can you guys keep it down? We're just trying to live our lives."
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Lock-In Podcast. My name's Mike, and this is Baz. Say hello, Baz.
Hello, Baz.
That joke never gets old.
It's got to one day for sure.
I don't think it will. I'm not going to let it. So, welcome everybody to a brand new season of the Lock-In Podcast. This is probably we didn't really split it into seasons. We just had a bit of time off in the summer, but I guess this is the first one of season 3.
Are we 3 already? Oh, God.
Yeah. So, welcome everybody. Thanks for coming along. Before we go anywhere, like, subscribe, do all that shit. Okay? If there's a button to press it. And share it with people. So, on this week's episode, I'm so excited. We've got a really, really good one for you because we've got 2 guests. So, there's going to be 4 people on this podcast, and they're in 4 different countries, which is groundbreaking. Our guests on this week's show are Dayna Pereira and Samantha Graham. Hello.
Hi.
Good evening, good morning, whatever time it is where you are. How are we?
Good. I'm at 2 p.m. right now, so I feel kind of like a square because I have a water bottle and I really feel like I should lie to you and say it's vodka.
Well, that's basically just American beer anyways, Dayna. So
Oh, it started already. I like
we
this.
are starting already right after the Canadians are already proving we don't live up to the reputation of being that nice.
So have we started with Coors versus Budweiser already? Is that what's happening here?
Wait, here's the thing. I really like Canadian beer. I'm a Labatt's girl. I like Labatt's and I like Molson.
I didn't realise there were so many beers from Canada.
Yeah.
I've heard of all of them, but I just didn't realise they were all Canadian.
2 of 2.
So, as I say, our guests tonight are Dayna Pereira and Samantha Graham. They are the hosts of the Participation Trophy Wife podcast, which I came across recently. Really excited to have them on. And I'm going to give you each 60 seconds to tell me who you are and give me a bit of background. Okay? I'm going to go to Dayna first. 60 seconds, tell me who you are, what you are, and how you ended up where we are. No, I'll do that again. This is why we stopped doing it live.
This is why you don't drink before.
I've only had 2 pints and I can't string a fucking sentence together. So I'll start.
It's like that without beer, to be fair.
I know, yeah.
I feel like you should keep it all in. It's
Quite
very
true,
entertaining.
quite true. I think I will. I think I'll keep all this in now. Right, so I'll do that again. So Dayna, 60 seconds. Tell us about you.
Yeah, sure. So I do need to correct you really quick. Our show is called Where's Our Participation Trophy? We kind of are a sub show of That Trophy Wife Life, which is a show that I was doing before. And then Sam and I joined forces and decided that we're going to take over the fucking world with Where's Our Participation Trophy? So I am, again, I'm a mom of 4. SoCal living, self-proclaimed participation trophy wife. I kind of did that whole thing on Twitter where I was making fun of my family and stuff like that. I called myself the participation trophy wife. And now I get hate all the time saying, you're not a trophy wife because people don't know how to read.
It's WOPT for short, isn't it?
WOPT. I really want WOPT to catch on, but so far, no dice.
Have you got a hashtag with WOPT?
I do WOPT pod. I hashtag with
See,
it,
I think that other song has the market corner.
Cardi B might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Samantha, 60 seconds. Let's hear about you.
Sure. So my name's Samantha Graham. I'm from Toronto, Canada, as you mentioned. So I am doing the Elder Millennial Single Girl part of the dynamic on Where's Our Participation Trophy. So we actually borrowed Elder Millennial from a comedian by the name of Eliza Schlesinger. I've probably butchered the name, but if I ever get it right, it's more of a miracle than anything. She did a whole bit on it. I loved it. It's sort of this in between. We're not quite Gen X. We're not quite millennials. We're sort of in that. What the hell are we doing? Have we become adults? And when did that all happen? So that's kind of the gist of where Elder Millennial comes from. So we blended it all together and we talk all kinds of things. But I'm representing the single girl lifestyle, I guess, with a professional day job. So that's me in a very quick nutshell.
Well, I've got news for you. Me and Baz are squarely in Gen X, and neither of us know what the fuck we're doing by now anyway. We don't know when we're going to grow up and be adults.
Yeah,
So
we're not offering any advice here, trust us.
Yeah, we keep looking to the Gen X for some leadership, and they're all kind of just shrugging their shoulders, going, "We grew up on after-school specials, so your guess is as good as mine because we just let ourselves in, and that's where we got life's lessons from." So
We just don't want to get blamed for the fuck-ups that are coming, that's all.
Yeah.
that's it. It's not our fault.
not that we think Gen X cares too much about getting blamed for much of anything or cares too much about the opinions of others. So you'll probably just let that bounce off, right?
I read a meme the other day that said kids these days don't know the born because when I was 5 years old, I died and my mum told me to walk it off.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened in the 70s.
Yeah. 80s too. Put some Windex on it. You're fine.
No problem
It'll
at all.
toughen
So,
you up.
brilliant. So, yes, the podcast is, of course, called Where's Our Participation Trophy?
That's a really difficult title to have as well, particularly if you've had a drink.
Yeah, exactly. I'm on my third pint. That's why I'm not going to say it again. That's why I tried to say it in a different way, but I got it wrong. But yeah, that's so. How did you guys meet?
Twitter. We met through Twitter. And if you want to be technical about it, we've never actually seen each other's eyeballs in person. It's all been over Zoom so far, although we really need to remedy that situation quickly. I've thrown out some girls trips ideas, so maybe maybe we can make that happen at some point. But yeah, we have been following each other on Twitter for years now, kind of interacting with each other. And I had her on that Trophy Wife Life when I was hosting that show. And God, I just loved, she's so funny and she's so fucking smart. And I just loved working with her. And when I really wanted to kind of do the whole co-hosty thing again, she was the first person I thought of. I was like, God. And so I reached out and I was like, what do you think about? And she was like, oh, hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah, it's funny because the world of social media and you meet people, right? And there was a time in our lives, I'm sure all of us, where when the internet was introduced, your parents' first thing was don't meet strangers from the internet. And I feel like now all I do is meet strangers from the internet, whether it's friends, someone that I'm going to collaborate with on something like this, dates, they all come from the internet. So now, and we're also getting in strangers' cars by way of Uber. So we've just taken all of our parents' advice and thrown it right out of the window. But yeah, Dayna and I met through Twitter. And funny enough, as she was kind of preparing to propose this to me, I had also thought about it earlier this year that I wanted to start doing something in the podcast space more along the lines of comedy. And I think we both kind of talked about, you put it out there that you were doing some stand up. I let you know that I was interested in giving my putting my toe in the water for that one too. And so the rest is history. Here we are.
So it's an interesting question. So have you both had a kind of entertainment background before Twitter?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, not at all. I mean, I think I'm entertaining. I don't know if anybody else does, but I mean, kind of ballsy of me to be like, you know what? I think people fucking listen to what I have to say. I'm going to start a podcast.
Yeah.
Pretty much what we did. And do you know what? It's a very similar thing. We met through TikTok, and we only met in real life because we had a TV show to make together. So,
Oh, shit.
Oh no,
So,
we thought
yeah.
we actually met up before that, but obviously when you're in this kind of realm where the only part of you is your upper body,
Hmm.
when you finally meet each other, there's also that kind of strange thing about, oh, you look exactly as I and you sound how you sound and you look how you sound. I've always said how that I'm quite short. And Mike's first thing to me when we first met, he said, I was, what did you say? I was...
You were disappointingly averagely height.
Yeah.
Average height. I was expecting this little minion to get out of the car when you turned up. And just, unfortunately, I mean, he is short, but I'd been... If I hadn't, I don't know if you've seen Baz's transitions and stuff, if I hadn't have been warned that he was short, I would have thought he was, I don't know, a grown-up man's height. Yeah, I think I would have been more shocked. I just thought he was further away than he was. That's all it was.
Did you guys get into TikTok with COVID and the lockdowns and everything too? I guess by the name of the podcast, that's kind of how this all came to be. We all found our way to the dancing app by way of being locked in our homes for far too long. Yeah.
Yeah, this used to be called the lockdown lock-in.
So
it all started with when the pubs were shut. We met up here in our virtual pub because we weren't allowed in real ones. And now we've just dropped the lockdown and it's just the lock-in. So so there we go.
Actually, it was less subtle than that. We used to do FaceTime calls on a Wednesday night while we were drinking. That's how it started. And Mike literally said, "Oh, we should turn this into a podcast." And then on the following Wednesday, we were due to meet up. He said, "Click this link and join me on here." I'm still like this right now, so
don't mess about. See, Baz is still shocked. Baz is still like a rabbit in the headlights trying to figure all this out.
So now that we're not in lockdown anymore, you guys still screw going to the bar? Like, I'm done going to the pubs. I'd rather sit in my house, or are you get me the hell out of here?
I've already been in a pub today, so
okay.
I live in a country that's just brought in minimum pricing on alcohol, and it's increased the price of beer in supermarkets, but not in pubs. So it's encouraged me to go to more pubs. I'm blaming the government for the fact I'm in pubs more than I should be.
Hey, work smarter, not harder, right?
Absolutely. But yeah, me and Baz are here every Wednesday in our virtual pub, having a few drinks and chatting nonsense. So, speaking of which, I've got some questions to get to know you both a little bit better. So, I'm going to come to Dayna first. I don't know how I chose these questions. I just searched for random questions on the internet, which is how I get most of me material for the podcast. To be honest,
that's research for you, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm pissing about on the internet all the time, so I might as well use it for the podcast. So the first question I'm going to ask of both of you, but Dayna first, is: what is the one article of clothing that if someone wore on a first date, it would make you walk out of there?
Man, walk out of? I mean,
literally
maybe
walk out, not
something
just
with a swastika. If anybody came in with a swastika on their shirt or a hood on, anything that is highly racist, I would be fuck off. I am out of here. I would be up and out of there as I was recording them and putting them on the internet because they're a piece of shit and they deserve it.
Well, I was, we've seen a lot of what's going on in the States, but I didn't expect people to be turning up for a first date with burning crosses and stuff.
Dude, people are ballsy, right? It is actually disgustingly terrifying how ballsy that short 4 years gave these people so much permission to show what pieces of trash they are. And yeah, unfortunately, in the States, it's a shitty situation right now. We've definitely backslid 200 years at this point.
It's good that you think that too, because pretty much the rest of the world, I think, is looking and going, what the fuck is going on in that country? What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. Now, if I were to travel outside of the States and somebody asked me where I was from, I'd be like, Canada, eh?
It's South Canada.
Meanwhile, we're the upstairs neighbors kind of banging on the floor going, can you guys keep it down? We're just trying to live our lives.
We've still got friends here. We're just can you stop all that shit that you're doing now, please? Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, Samantha, what about you? I was expecting more kind of along the mildly controversial.
I saw that mildly controversial line and I fucking nosedived right over it.
The Americans being extreme, it's hardly ever heard of. I was going to stay with a very safe answer and just say a Montreal Canadiens jersey, which is very typical of a Canadian to say a hockey jersey for the opposing team. For mine, the Toronto Maple Leafs. No, I think that would actually spark. I've dated people who have that, and it actually gives some conversation. So that's a tough one because it would be hard to come after Dayna with the swastika. I'm trying to think of.
What about
Don't-
Crocs?
don't
How do we
think-
feel about Crocs?
Please don't think that if you come up with something other than swastikas, that is in any way you justifying somebody turning up on a first date with swastikas. Okay, that's not what this is. You get your own little time now.
Yeah, it goes without saying that any paraphernalia that suggests that you are a bigot is already a no-go red flag. The state stops here. Yeah, I think Dayna, Crocs might be a good answer. I'm seeing a lot of those out and about, but I want to say these weirdly, because we are still in summer here and summer temperatures, hovering around 33 Celsius. I know you guys in the UK had a heat wave over the last little bit too. They know what Celsius means, Dina, so we can all talk, and you're going to have to do the calculation in your head. Yeah.
Because it's not 1974 anymore.
I taught her on one of our episodes, so she's working through it. She's doing the math, the mental math.
Yes.
I want to say the weirdly, either the very short shorts on a man or the one piece, like a romper, which might be slightly different terminology than you guys have, because I don't
It's
know
a
if that's
boiler
a sweater.
suit, yeah.
Yeah, it's like this onesie, but men are wearing them and they're patterned and they're often pastel, and it's this very strange downtown Toronto look that was a little more in a summer before this one, but I've seen them on Instagram. They're still lurking around, and that's a hard no for me unless he's trying to be funny about it. So short shorts or a onesie, no thank you. Or a swastika. Just to put it on record. No swastika.
So, onesie with really short legs, swastikas. That's
Yes.
in one outfit.
That is definite
Hard
hard
pass.
stop.
So are you guys saying there's actually a market for this? Because I might produce one of those just to sell in America.
Okay, the next question is the zombie apocalypse is coming.
Ooh.
Who are the 3 people you want on your team? It's Dayna first again. See, this is the hard-hitting shit you don't get on most other podcasts.
Yeah, so Dayna's now thinking, I'll get the guy with the swastika because he's clearly...
Yeah, he clearly doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, we shouldn't have kicked him out round 1. We need him back now.
I can use him as a club to hit the zombies with.
Okay. I'm going The Rock. I got to bring The Rock with me because I think that he would be useful. I mean, if
useful.
anything.
I thought you were going to go eye
Yes,
candy.
useful.
No.
No, well, no. I want somebody that is
That's
going to-
purpose.
Yeah. That is
It's useful to
purpose
be eye
also.
candy.
I mean, oh gosh. Okay, who else am I bringing? I'm bringing The Rock. I'm bringing Jake Gyllenhaal because I want to have sex with him before I die. And
You have to be quick if there's a zombie apocalypse.
and I'm sure he could be quick. And he looks like he goes fast. And I'm bringing my husband, but I'm gonna make him close his eyes and plug his ears when I'm having sex with Gyllenhaal.
You're so
Excellent.
considerate. I
That
really
was-
appreciate it.
Yeah. And I hope he isn't listening to this because he came third.
Oh yeah, he knows. He knows.
And your 4 kids are tapping on the window going, Mom! Mom!
Well, I can't bring them. They will die first, and I can't watch that happen.
Or they're just going to slow you down.
You're only allowed 3. You'd have to choose one. If you picked your kids, you'd have to choose one that didn't make the cut.
Yeah. Ooh.
Sam.
All right. I'm going to go first up, Will Smith. And here's why. 1, he did the movie I Am Legend, so he's got experience. And if all else fails, he'll just slap out the zombies. So he's already got that. He's ready to go.
Slap any zombie.
He'll just bitch slap all the zombies. 2, and I'm just going to blend real life and fictional characters. I want MacGyver. I know this is an old school,
I love MacGyver.
character
Brilliant.
that some people wouldn't know, but, he's going to be able to make use of any little toothpick, and suddenly we've got a spear, and he's going to turn everything into something that's going to be useful. And the third one is tough because I don't have a husband that I gotta like. I'm obligated to drag along on this adventure. I'm gonna say my best friend. She's gonna hate me for this because she's like, why do I gotta go do all of this? I want out of the zombie apocalypse, but she's been with me since the beginning. She's my ride or die. So sorry, best friend, you're coming to the zombie apocalypse. We're gonna do this together. We're going out together.
That's it. This is the die part of the ride or die.
Yes, yeah, it definitely might be the die part. She signed up for it.
What's her name, by the way?
Stephanie.
There you go, Stephanie. Stephanie, you're part of this crew.
Name check us shortly before she gets eaten.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, which fictional family would you be a member of?
Ooh.
The Bundys.
No, you don't have
Easily.
to-
Bundy or
Al
Bundy.
and Peggy.
Al Bundy.
Oh, sorry. Wrong ones.
Did you guys have Married with Children over there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I'm like, the other Bundy family is not fictional. So
Okay.
yeah, Al
Look,
and Peggy, I would be a part of their family because I would want to sit right next to Peggy on the couch, tossing bonbons down my face hole, and have big hair and really annoy the shit out of Al.
See, I'm going to edit all that out so it sounds like you meant the other lot.
Yeah, what's wrong with Ted?
Yeah.
I heard he was a nice guy until he was doing the murdering.
Yeah, exactly. That's what his mum said, anyway.
I mean, one little personality trait that doesn't go slightly against the grain, and everyone's got it in for you.
He was the most handsome in prison. I don't see the problem.
Well, they got Zac Efron to play him in the films. He must have been good looking.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's not the only crime Zac Efron's committed, to be fair. On screen. Anyway, that's just my 2 penneth. Samantha.
I want to go wholesome Full House, but not for wholesome reasons. I think it's because since I was pretty young, I've had a crush on Uncle Jesse, so I want to replace Aunt Becky in this little scenario. We're gonna oust Aunt Becky. I'm the new Aunt Becky because I've had a Uncle Jesse thing since I was far too young to have a thing for a grown man.
Wait, are you still
That's
going
my
to call
confession
him
of the day.
Uncle Jesse, or does he just get upgraded to Jesse at that point?
I mean, people are doing the daddy thing. We could take a test run on Uncle, see how that lands. I
This
don't
is
know.
the right
Everybody's
platform
got.
to mention Daddy, trust me.
Is uncle issues a thing now? Is that a thing?
Yeah. You never know. We're gonna take it for a test drive, and I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Randomly start calling dudes uncle.
Oh, hey, Uncle.
You heard it here first. This is where it started.
Well, I think the first uncle was, say uncle, say uncle.
Yeah. Hey, it could go that route too. We don't know what kind of night I'm gonna have. It could go any direction.
Especially after you single white
sensual.
female Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next question is, what is as you said before, we've done a couple of shows where we've done mildly controversial opinions. Mm-hmm. So what is a mildly controversial opinion that you have and you firmly believe in?
Ooh.
Okay. Mildly controversial opinion that I have is people take their pizza toppings way too fucking seriously. If I want pineapple on my fucking pizza, it's none of your goddamn business.
Right, cut
I
off.
like pineapple on my pizza.
I'm sorry, we've lost Dayna now. I don't know what happened there. She mentioned pineapple on pizza, but I think there must be something happening. Oh, she's back. I do apologize.
Yeah, and I'm not a terrible person because of it. If you like something else on your pizza, you do you, boo.
If you're going to come, when I say fruit doesn't belong on a pizza, if you're the type of person that's going to come back and go, tomatoes are fruits, you can fuck off as well, because that's, you know what I mean? Put that in a fruit salad and see if anybody eats it.
You have a whole fruit sauce on your pizza.
It's technically tomato smoothie under that cheese. What are you talking about? Anyway. Okay, Samantha. So, and to be fair, Dayna, I appreciate and I applaud your stance on that, even though you're wrong.
I was about to say that.
Samantha.
Oh, a tough one, because I feel like my brain's now going to food. It must be dinner time here on the eastern side of Canada. We talked about this on the show last week, and so I might have to make it make sense for folks that aren't on the North American side of things. But I still stand firmly and will die on the hill that Miracle Whip is better than mayonnaise for every purpose that you might use it for. And you guys might call it salad cream.
Yes,
Salad cream?
we do.
Yeah. We got that. A few of our from the people that follow us over on Twitter did the translation, because the Brits got to it first because of the time of day, and so they're in the replies going, "What the heck's a Miracle Whip?" Yes. And they're trying to figure out why it's whipped. I think they're thinking it's like fluffy, like a marshmallow based product that I'm trying to put on a sandwich. So I think the closest we got was salad cream.
I'm not going to lie, Miracle Whip sounds far better.
It is better. It's tangier. It's delicious. It is the miracle. It is. It's your soul.
It sounds like the highest priced option at a massage parlor. if I'm thinking about it, not pissing about with just your regular whip. We're talking the Miracle Whip.
Miracle Whip.
This is. I'll open the case that's got a break glass on the front of it, and I'll get out the Miracle Whip.
Oh, Miracle Whip! It's like wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
The Miracle Whip, and I'll finish off by calling you Uncle.
Yeah.
And it all ties up beautifully.
So salad cream stroke Miracle Whip is better than mayo. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we've got a whole camp of people who think all of it's trash. So they're not happy when we say that any of the above is good, but I'm going team Miracle Whip all the way if I have to lay it out there.
I'm gonna have to firmly have a foot in both camps on that one, because tuna mayonnaise and sweet corn is amazing. Tuna salad cream and sweet corn tastes like disappointment, and also that it only tastes like that because you couldn't find any. You've run out of mayonnaise. That's what that tastes like.
Try mustard.
Ooh. That's crazy talk. We're gonna have to move on from there. That's just
pineapple on her pizza.
As long as you don't try to suggest mushrooms.
Mushrooms are the devil's genitals.
I know. I've heard your episode.
No good.
That should have been my controversial opinion, because I actually think they're delicious. Yeah. But anyways, moving on. Moving right along.
We only met half an hour ago. Let's not fall out, okay? let's try our best not to. Okay,
we got to keep the international relations up.
It's all up to us now.
This is beautiful. This is like a mini UN, isn't it? The four of us here, four people in 4 countries, just talking shit. What could be better than that? That is just like the UN, actually. So, okay, I've got some would you rathers. I'm going to start tame, and then we're going to go not so tame. So let's start with, would you rather someone see all the photos in your phone or read all your text messages?
Photos in my phone, because I feel like my text messages could be misconstrued.
Ooh, elaborate.
Well, or maybe they can't be misconstrued, and I just don't want people to see what the fuck I said about them. I'm like, don't worry about.
There we go, and the truth is arrived. We've arrived at the truth
about you. Here's a titty photo.
See, I'm on the opposite side.
You're single, aren't you? So it makes a difference.
Well, and the thing is, and here's the real truth is it isn't even like nudes that I'm worried about. It's just the sheer number of selfies in my phone. Like I can't let
Oh,
the
yeah.
world know that 80% of the cloud storage is just me trying to get the best picture of my face possible on any given day. So I feel like that's got to go. That's just explicit instruction that if I die, someone's got to wipe that out immediately. But the texts, because they delete after 1 year with the way that I've got the phone set up, I know off the top of my head as we talk, there's nothing in there that's too bad. That I could withstand that one. But the pictures are there. They go back much further, and we need to not release those to the
I
public.
feel we should talk about the fact that you've got your texts to delete after a year, and why is that?
I wish that the story was really racy or something to that effect. It was mostly just being practical, that it would save space in your phone. It was just
Mhm.
setting it up so that I would have a bunch of
You're
Actually, no,
so
I've got state secrets that I'm hiding, and I can't let the CSIS and FBI.
me and Mike were just thinking she's Canadian.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of messages saying sorry to people, so it's not that exciting, really, when you think about it. Talking about hockey and maple syrup and saying sorry. It's really
Oh,
adorable. The
typical,
pictures is where it's
typical.
at. That's where the magic happens in Canada. It's
That's
the photos.
true though, because it takes like for a female, at least in my case, I will take 172 pictures before I get the one that I
Mhm.
post.
Mhm.
Yeah, I share an iTunes password with my wife, so our photos end up mixed up when I open my phone. All the ones that she's taken are on there as well. So
Uh-huh.
I feel like when I'm trying to find a photo of the dog, which is really important, and I have to scroll through 3.5 weeks of pictures of my wife's face. She's very pretty, but yeah, boring when you scroll through that many. Okay, next one. Would you rather wake up naked in a forest 5 miles from home or in your underwear at work?
Mm. Um, well, I wake up in my underwear at work every single day because because I'm a stay-at-home mom.
I was about to
But
ask
the
where you work, so
yeah, but the naked
Yeah,
in the
he's already
forest,
bought his plane ticket.
yeah.
I've got my resume and everything.
There's a guest room, so but the naked in the forest 5 miles away, that just sounds like a good story. Like, I want that to happen just so I can wake up and be like, "Holy shit, what the fuck happened?" And then, like, retrace my like I'm in the movie The Hangover or something.
To be fair, when your husband finds out he was third on your list of people that you wanted, there's every chance
Yeah.
he is going to throw you out of the car naked into the woods anyway. So this may become a
There's
thing.
not a chance in hell. Guys, he's obsessed with me. He loves me too much.
Oh,
He really
Oh.
does. I say that as a joke, but it's also very true. Like, the one thing that I am not worried about at all in this world is that my husband will ever stop loving me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It almost makes me want to go out on a date. Almost, but no.
I thought you were going to say vomit, but that's the different.
Well,
Yeah. I've been obsessed with him for 12 years now, so.
So Samantha, where are you? Are you at work or are you in the woods?
well, right now I'm still work from home. So I think I'm going work because I could probably hide in my call and just do like a floating head. Um, and the woods is mostly because I heard the 5 miles part, and that means I have to do some form of fitness, and I'm just not
Mhm.
really feeling the fitness aspect of it, naked or not, right at this time in my life. So let's go naked or in underwear at work on a Zoom
There
call.
I really wasn't thinking about so many people work from home these days when I came up with that question. Okay, here's one that might take more thinking. Would you rather have a permanent unibrow or monobrow, depending how you want to phrase it, or no eyebrows at all? So you're having
So
one across your entire head or nothing.
Dayna has seen my photos from the 90s, so she knows I already know what it's like to barely have any eyebrows. So I am going 100% unibrow because I'm never living that down, and I'm never living through it again. Unibrow. Final answer. Final answer. Lock it in.
I am also locking in the unibrow because you know what? Big brows are back now, and there are plenty of people out there that can still work a unibrow, but no eyebrows at all. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going unibrow.
I didn't realize what having no eyebrows at all, the difference it made, until my wife had hers microbladed, and I didn't realize she didn't have any. She came in all of a sudden. Well, she had very little, and then all of a sudden she comes with her face framed properly. I was like, "Oh, look at you!
You look
You looking
surprised.
like look at you looking like a normal human being." I had no idea.
Well, that's true love right there. You loved her without the eyebrows.
There you go.
That's
Didn't even
love.
notice. And to be fair, I've barely got any as well myself, but I've not got to the microblading bit yet. Okay, next up is this is where we're turning a corner. Would you rather eat? Would you rather eat chocolate flavored shit or shit flavored chocolate? Told you we've changed gear
Shit-flavored
now, haven't we?
chocolate.
Eh?
Shit flavored chocolate. Shit flavored chocolate. I would rather eat the chocolate that somebody uh uh artificially flavored as shit than to eat real shit. Like the bacteria and stuff like I'm not trying to die of some parasite or get worms or, any of that stuff. So I will take the artificially flavored shit chocolate.
I wasn't expecting a practical answer there, but you've got it.
Eventually, like my brain just immediately was like, "Oh no, this is the one."
It's a bit like the swastika answer. She got straight in with an actual.
Very serious. These are very serious. This could come up, and then we are forced to go with the answers we had on today's show later in life. Like you never know what you could be held to.
Yeah.
So what are you saying then?
I want to say, Dayna, your answer makes a lot of sense, but I can't get around having to do the flavor.
Exactly.
Oh man, that's a tough one. How big is this piece of chocolate? Is it like a proper bar of chocolate? Like, are we doing a whole? Is it like a?
Massive.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Massive. It's an American-sized bar of chocolate,
Oh yeah, we haven't got enough room for
the size of a house.
Oh, I think if it's a big bar of chocolate, I think I gotta go with chocolate flavor. As much as I know what it is, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot to have to choke down.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Oh, just those two words.
I know. So many thoughts came into my head.
Choked down. I was like,
Yeah.
we need to move on because I've got a cast iron constitution and even I've just nearly retched then. Right, let's move on. So, again, we are at the gutter end of these questions now. So, would you rather have sex with a hideously ugly person or a beautiful fresh corpse?
Oh fuck.
I didn't write these questions, by the way. I just chose them.
Can I also just mention I had no part of this.
This is where we've got to now.
I mean, in order for me to have sex with a fresh corpse, like rigor mortis would have had to set in, like the dick had to have been hard. I don't think I could do that. I think I'm going to have to go with a really ugly person because that won't put me in jail.
I miss your
She's
practicality, Dayna.
She's got very practical again. We expected this from the Canadian.
Listen, whatever keeps me out of prison, that's what my brain always goes to.
Meanwhile, I hear him saying hideously ugly person, and I was thinking, like again? You want to know if I would do it again? I'll let those people figure out which one I'm talking about if they're listening.
You know who you are.
You know who you are.
Stephanie
I think
knows
I
who
got
it is.
it. Stephanie definitely knows who it is. Ugly person for sure. No corpses for me.
Yeah.
Good. I'm not just
Why aren't
okay.
we getting your answers on this? I want to know if you're
Yeah.
fucking a corpse or not.
Because if you're listening to this before we've been on Dayna and Sam's podcast, if they want to ask questions of us, they need to wait until it's their turn. That's the answer to that.
I've got time to work out my answers here as well, so I love it.
Okay, the last one of these is going to be: would you rather see not wanting to exclude anyone from this question, you may have to imagine something in this. Okay, so would you rather see your other half in a porn video or your parents in a porn video?
See, here's me going again.
Well, the parents bit.
Well, it's 100% my significant other. There's absolutely no, like that's a immediate answer. And I would watch it every day if I had to avoid the second one.
You see, I thought Canada was way more liberal than that.
There's a lag.
I think that I would also just rather see my husband than my mother or my father in a porn, especially together. But I mean, odds are my husband was in a porn at some point anyways. So just kidding. He probably wasn't. There's a chance he was. He does like to watch porn, so I don't know. Maybe I'd definitely rather just see him than my mother.
Can I ask your husband's other name? Not other name, his name.
His name is Joe.
Right, so Joe's another guest on our podcast, by the way, Mike.
Yeah. We need Joe to answer that he would release the camera roll on his phone to find out if Joe is in a porn. That's how we're going to get to the bottom of that.
You would find out if he ever recorded us, and I could tell you that answer. So but no, my husband is the kind of guy. He told me one time, like, hey, because I was like, is there any chance, like, in 18 years, somebody's gonna knock on your door and be like, Daddy, you know? And he was like, well, there was this one time. It's like, well, shit. I guess he went to Mexico and the condom broke, and then he never saw the girl again. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, at least I know I'm prepared if somebody comes knocking on our door.
A fifth college fund just in case. And then if it doesn't happen, you guys can go to Maui or something.
Yeah.
Wow. All I heard from that was fifth college fund, and my mind's just gone to how expensive it is to put any child through the education system in the States.
Oh yeah, it's bullshit. It is bullshit.
It's one of a number of things that the rest of the world just looks
and
at.
That is very low on the list of bullshit things going on in the States.
Yeah, because I saw I don't want this to become a America's fucked up, let's chat about it. But America's fucked up, let's chat about it. I saw a TikTok of a woman who came on and said, tell me how much the bill was for having your child. And I was like, and they're going, oh yeah, mine was $40,000 and shit. And I was just like,
$35K.
You've just hatched a child out of your lady garden and they're coming up with 40 grand bill for it. I was like, you did all the work. What's the bill for?
They'll charge you 10 grand a day just to stay in the hospital.
Wow.
How are there so many people in America?
They got rid of the ability to not have so many people in America.
Yes.
That's going to take us down a rabbit hole you don't want to open with me. I'm going to zip it. That's why I didn't drink before coming on this show. If I had drank, we would be here for a while. So I'm going to.
We love our Sam rants.
Oh, man. I didn't expect that to go down that route. So, I think I could probably say that a number of times tonight. I didn't expect that to go down that route. Yep. I definitely didn't expect swastikas to be the first thing. I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting more Crocs. That's the kind of level I was thinking of it at, rather than just. Anyway, let's talk a bit more about your podcast. It's relatively new. I mean, you've been podcasting for a while, haven't you, Dayna? But there's the two of you together is relatively new.
We are 7 episodes in at this time of recording here now. So yeah, it is relatively new, but luckily we have some great supporters out there that have done all of the things and gotten us on charts in the UK and in Canada and in the US and New Zealand and Ireland. And I could probably name a few more. So it has been kind of like being shot out of a cannon, I guess. We did our thing, and it turns out people like it, and we're just excited to keep going with it because it's really fun for us.
Yeah, and I think it helped going in with having several years behind us in terms of the social spaces.
Yeah.
I've been on Twitter consistently probably since 2018, and then did the TikTok thing during all the lockdowns. My following kind of jumped up pretty quickly. Well, it was slow relative to some people's, and then all of a sudden it seemed like I blinked overnight and I was over 100K, which was kind of cool, but also a little weird, as I'm sure you guys know and experience, having a large following there as well. But it worked, right? Because you've got people who are familiar with you, familiar with some of your shtick, want to hear a little bit more of it, willing to put in the time to listen to 40 plus minutes of it. So
Mm-hmm.
I think we were really beneficial to have some cool people that hang out in our social spaces that made the trip over to the podcast.
So yeah, it's going well. From I've seen on from your social media, from your Instagram, that it's going really well.
Yeah, yeah. It honestly, I mean, it was not. I don't want to say surprising because truly, whenever I was talking to Sam and I said, "Let's take over the world," I fucking meant it. I was like, "Let's see what we can do with this." And it's been a great start. I'm really excited about it.
I've just made the foray back into Facebook after, like, the entire lockdown, not being on there. If you really, really want to get involved in some toxic shit, go back across to there. It's fucking
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know when we Baz and I started on TikTok in lockdown, and I was one of those people who would be on Facebook 4, 5, 6 times a day before TikTok came along, and then I just
Mm-hmm.
found myself pissing about, having a bit of fun, doing some dances with the kids, doing some like things that I thought were funny, watching other people do funny things and all that. And a month went by, and I was like, oh, I've not been on Facebook. And I walked onto Facebook, and I don't know if you've seen that meme of a kid who walks into the room and goes and turns around and runs back out. I was like
Yeah.
that on Facebook. I was like, fucking hell, it's horrible here. Take me back to TikTok. Take me back to the fun place. I don't like it here anymore, Mummy. Make it stop.
Oh my God, you absolutely nailed that face, by the way. Like the second you made that face, I was like, yep, I know
So,
it.
so if you are listening on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or whatever, go to YouTube to see that face.
Now, but I do like that, TikTok, especially that algorithm you can curate, right? What you hang out and watch and what you engage with is going to be what you see more of. So if something comes across your feed that you don't like, just scroll past it and you know that it's less likely to push to you. And then you can stay with the cool stuff. I mean, every so often I end up with something that gets there, and it's usually a sad video of someone's dog, and I go on the roller coaster of emotion, right? I'm laughing, I'm crying, I'm angry, and around and around and around we go. But it's a cool space, and definitely a nice change from just the never ending opinions of people on Facebook that are less informed but very, very vocal. So it's a cool
Mm.
it's a cool little platform.
So how have you both survived on Twitter for so long? Because Twitter's obviously an unabated cesspool of opinion, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what I do mostly is ignore and block. So
I started
if
doing that
some
myself. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I just can't engage in it. Whenever somebody wants to come and say something stupid, I'm like, all right, dude, I know that that's more about you. And it's sorry, but it's usually a dude. And so I'm like, it's more about you and your bullshit than it is about what I posted. So, like, just block and move on. Block, move on. And thick skin. Like, I just don't give a shit.
And I think that's the biggest secret, right? So social media teaches you really, really quickly that the opinions of other people, like it's like cockroaches, and if you're trying to change it one at a time, it's the equivalent of trying to get rid of a cockroach problem one at a time. Like you're going to turn around
Mhm.
and there's 10,000 more, and it's an exercise in futility. So learning to just filter it out by ignoring, by refusing to engage, by blocking, by
Mhm.
muting, all that stuff. And I think we've curated a good little corner of Twitter, both Dayna and I, where a lot of the people who follow us or engage with the stuff are there to have fun, and they're for the most part pretty respectful. I think in the grand scheme of what people are capable of on that platform,
Yeah.
I'm really happy with what I encounter most days. It's only when I go looking for the crap with people and their opinions about all the various things that people have had very outspoken opinions about in the last couple of years, that's where I get myself really pissed off and realizing that I'm probably going down a road that I don't need to be going down.
Do you know, we all went through lockdown, and then we came out of lockdown and we started interacting with real humans again, like in pubs and things. I was almost looking for the not interested button during conversations. And I was like, oh shit, no, where is this?
How do I mute this person? I just need to mute.
Not interested. Stop it. Go away. I can't get
Push
rid of
their
this person.
forehead and say block.
Is that the same with Tinder? Do people do that in real life? They go somewhere and they're swiping right on people's faces and left. It was like,
Yeah.
But actually, I saw a video of a kid. It must have been 18 months old, reading a magazine, double tapping on the picture to make it bigger
Oh.
in a magazine.
But listen,
Yeah.
I've done it like quite literally trying to make it bigger.
Me too.
And what are you doing? You existed in a world before phones. How is your muscle memory this short? It's just, nope, that's not going to work. We're going to have to just get closer to it physically.
Oh, it's like my son. My son, if there's 45 seconds of his brain not being stimulated, I'm bored. And I said to him the other day, I said, mate, you don't realise that when I was your age in the summer holidays, I would move a worm with a stick left and right. 2 hours I'd get out of that. Where's the creativity gone, man? Do you know?
Yeah.
Well, you went on a road
Unbelievable.
trip and you played the game looking for like Guess Who or I Spy, or you had to try to find all the red cars or punch
Exactly.
buggies or whatever it was. Now kids you can't go down to the corner store without their iPad in the car. They're having an absolute conniption. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
This won't work on Spotify, but this is the Gen Z version of like making something bigger.
Yeah. You look like Dick Tracy with that thing.
I grew up in the 80s. The only thing that's used for is setting fire to ants.
That's it. Yeah. That's where my brain went.
That's literally making ants pop in the sunshine. And on that bombshell, I think that's probably all. I can't think of a better way to end the podcast than that. So I need to say thank you so much to Dayna and Samantha. It was amazing meeting you. Really enjoyed your company. Really looking forward to being on your podcast as well. So if you're watching and listening to this, there's every chance by the time this one goes out that we'll have been on theirs as well. So go and find, and I'm going to read it off a piece of paper so I don't get it wrong again this time. So go and search out the Where's Our Participation Trophy podcast.
You did that really well.
Thank you. I couldn't possibly get that wrong again, could I? So if you go to thelockin.co.uk, there will be a link to all of Dayna's socials, all of Samantha's socials, and all of the links to the podcast and all that kind of stuff. Do you know what I love? I love that on our podcast, we've brought people from another podcast on, and that's just kind of what you can do these days, you know? You wouldn't get people from, I'll make this American so people can all understand it. You wouldn't get people from CNN inviting people from Fox over and going, yeah, you want to go and watch their shit as well? It's really good. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But that's what we can do because we're in such a beautiful space here. So go and see all their stuff. And don't forget to, when you've seen their stuff, come back and like, share, all that, all our sort of stuff. So I'll say it again. I say it every week. If you've enjoyed listening to us, then share it with your friends. If you haven't enjoyed it, share it with people you don't like. I don't give a shit. Just share it, okay? So thanks again to you two for being on. Really enjoyed your company. I will speak to you soon on your podcast. And that's it for this show. So thanks, everyone, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.